supposed to be. If I'm unable to make you happy, then it's for the better that you are not with me. That's why I wrote you a letter, 'cause you see, I write so much better than I speak. And I need to tell you, you were my best friend till the end. I hope I'll be happy without you, but right now I don't know what to do. It's hard to get over, you chose someone else, a new best friend. Doesn't feel like it was long ago. We were head over heels in love, thought it lasts forever, but somehow we got lost. Looking back, I didn't realize what was wrong with me. I can't deny I took you for granted. You finally had enough. That's why I wrote you a letter, 'cause you see, I write so much better than I speak. And I need to tell you, you were my best friend till the end. I hope I'll be happy without you, but right now I don't know what to do. It's hard to get over, you chose someone else, a new best friend. Hey, I heard you got a new best friend. Yeah, it hurts a bit, I won't pretend that it doesn't matter that you're with someone else. That's why I wrote you a letter, 'cause you
Evening, everybody. Oops. Have to turn those. That's as about as clean of a screen as I could give anybody. Hope everyone's having a good evening. Hey Julia, welcome back in. Did you get to like sit down, relax, rest at all, anything? You should be sleeping. Oh man. What time is it out there? 9:30? Yeah, you're coming up on that time. You're getting there. I had some dinner. I never really got to lie down. It's just okay. I'll be fine tonight. I don't know. I might see about some caffeine when I get over there. We'll see. We're really excited to go see the new Spider-Man today. I was just chatting with Jamie, and she saw it today too with her family. So I feel like we're all getting caught up a week later. Didn't give Disney our, probably the release day dollars that they probably wanted on box office weekend, but second week it's fine. That movie is just killing it at the box office, so it must be pretty good. So I'm really looking forward to going and catching that. You have a Spider-Man shirt that you can't keep in stock. Spider-Man's like a safe bet to sell anything. Like toys, lunchboxes, shirts, hats. If there's a movie coming out, just line it up. He's probably one of the top 2 or 3 most marketable superheroes I think that has ever been created. I think Spider-Man or Superman's also like a really, really safe bet, and I think Batman is another safe bet. You can pretty much make as much merch as you could possibly conceive of with those 3 characters, and you will always sell really, really well. Are you still subscribed? You are. Says you have a Prime sub on. How's your day been, Moxie? You get a little rest? I know you're still a little jet lagged from your trip. You were out there a minute too, so that definitely doesn't help you getting back home. Looks like you were still subscribed. Oh, hi, Oki girl. Freaking hot here. You were gonna try a nap, didn't happen, so struggling again, but less than, yeah. I don't know what your timeline usually is. I'm usually about 2 to 3 days. Unfortunately, when I was at Amazon, I didn't get 2 or 3 days. True, Julia. I would be reacclimating to LA and then I have to go to New York. That happened all the time. All the fucking time. Is a big deal. I was meaning to check this. I'm kind of scared to check this. I'm really scared to check this. You guys ready to see how much time I spent in New York? Yeah, it's sorted correctly. Okay. It's like a super quick flash checkout. These are all the times I spent in New York. All the times. That was just December to July. There's more. Here's more. This is just New York. Okay, maybe that's a little bit older. Okay, we got to the beginning again. But I used to go to New York all the fucking time. I get back from Europe and then I'd be like, oh man, I'm so excited to have 2 or 3 days here at home. Yo, Kess, we got this thing going on in New York. I can't make it. My boyfriend has a birthday. Can you cover me, boss? Sure. I'll cover you. It was probably one of the worst things was it was so cool to go to New York, but whenever you get back from Europe, you end up going to New York. And what's worse is you go to Europe, so you fly north of New York or sometimes even layover in New York to get back to California. So you could have just stayed in fucking on the East Coast and just recovered from the Europe part there. And then, yeah, it's a whole thing. Flying over Greenland on the way home was maybe the best thing about the entire trip. It was incredible to see. That is really cool. Yeah, you go when you go to Europe from the west coast of the U.S. You go really far up north. I think I've flown over Greenland a few times, Moxie, but I don't think there's ever. It's always been late at night. You can't see anything. Was it daylight? Could you see? Was it clear skies? Could you see down below? That's too easy. You need to go home and then fly back. Well, but if you go to Europe from the all 11 hours back, it was wow, that's wild. So if you're flying to Europe from the East Coast, you don't go that far north. You do go a little bit north. You go up just south of all that. but you won't necessarily go all the way up towards Greenland. I know you were talking my New York trips. 11 hours, that's wild. Yeah, I don't think I've ever like had a chance to like look down in that area. To be honest, Moxie, most of the time I was going to Europe, most of the time I flew over the Arctic Circle. I usually took red eyes, though. Like, we literally talking about, I went to the office in Culver City. Oh, that'd be so cool to check out, Moxie. I go to the office in Culver City, and then I hop on my flight at like noon. Like, those are my travel days. There's just so much work to be done. So much work to be done. But yeah, inside tonight. I did book tomorrow night. I was talking to someone just like 25-30 minutes ago, and I just like I'm doing the same thing where like let's just try to get the cheapest rate possible. I think I booked it at like 86 before fees, which compared to the weekends is like pretty cheap. I just put that on the books just in case like help came through, so we could try to make that whatever work. But I'm learning to do that because like if we wait and we end up last minute booking, it ends up costing like $30 more because the place fills up. So Dublin to Amsterdam, Amsterdam to Vegas. It's so weird how you have to go through. I can't even remember that airport's name. It's like a really, really long one. It's one of the busiest airports in the world. It's the Schiphol or whatever. Is that what it's called? Schiphol? Or yeah, that's what it's called. But it's really cool because when you land there, you go through like their customs checkpoint or whatever, and then you never have to go through customs again as long as you stay in Europe. As long as you're in the EU, you just planes, trains, whatever you're on, you hop on. No one checks your fucking passport. You just go. And they're really good about that at that airport, I have to say. If you fly like directly from the US to like Berlin, this is the old Berlin airport, mind you, it was a shit show. You'd be in lines forever trying to get your passport through. But I know that airport really well, Moxie. It is a long flight, 13 hours. Did you get up a few times? Stretch your legs? Oh, your transfer was tight. Oh, I usually had pretty long transfers there. I usually allowed a little bit of time to go through, customs and stuff because usually I would be on arrival. I usually flew direct out of Heathrow. I would always go in and check in with my team over there. Couple times you got up, not really. My longest flights were going to like Australia, and a few times like I went to Asia. That flight from LAX to Sydney it's pretty brutal. It's a little bit better coming back the other way. It's a little bit shorter, but it's like 15, 16-hour flight. And there's nothing to see. You look out the window, just water. And like in your mind, you have to think about it too, because like you're just going all over the Pacific. And you got to think, because I'm not scared of flying. It's not a fear that I have. I don't like fear like the plane crashing or anything. Night, Julia. Take care. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. But I know you got a project at work tomorrow, so hope you get some sleep tonight. But one thought that always crossed my mind whenever I went to Sydney was like, if this plane goes down, and like let's say our pilot does like a good, takes us down in the water nice and clean, it's still not gonna matter because we're thousands of miles from anything. Like, there is nothing in the South Pacific. There's no islands. There's nothing down there. So if you like, and like, it's weird to think about that though. Like, you're literally flying over nothing. Wind farms in the water. Yeah. It's so cool. They have so many windmills out there. It's such an interesting place. Like, the culture there's so much different. It really is. Turning into a really long day. Might have to do just a little bit of caffeine or something like that when I get over there. We'll see. Maybe I'll break my rule and get like a small Coke or like a Dr. Pepper or something. I don't know. I'm not like tired, but I'm so excited. I feel like the Marvel Cinematic Universe is back. I saw a thing on Twitter the other day that talked about how there was never any like superhero fatigue or like any of that. It was just we had some bad movies, and I stopped and thought about it, and I was like, yeah, we did kind of have some really bad movies. So I'm just really excited because it seems like everyone's been really enjoying this movie. Oh yeah, definitely Moxie. I'm just excited to take a break. Like, even if I want, like, so it's gonna be hard. This is gonna be my first time trying to sit down through a movie in a movie theater. As you don't drink soda either? Oh yeah. I drink juice. I like juice. I like seltzers. I like maybe a beer. Oh, that's why I don't drink soda, is because I drink beer. I can't remember which doctor it was. I can't remember if it was my doctor in Salt Lake or if it was my doctor when I got here to LA. But like, we had a conversation and I was like, I feel like I'm just like overdoing it with like a ton of sugar and then just like a ton of just like yeast and just like, does theater have beers? It might. The theater that I used to go to up in LA had beer. The one problem with beer though is you gotta get up in the middle of the movie to go pee. Same with water. I usually just try to drink most of my water before the movie starts, and then I'll just sip on it the rest of the way. But this is going to be a really interesting experiment for me from a mental health standpoint, because it's like 2 hours. It's a full-length MCU movie. Jamie went and saw it today. I was just talking to her about it. It's 2 hours and 25 minutes. It's a pretty long movie. So she said it was really good. It sounds like her family saw it. She went to go see it with her family. I'm caught up on everything. I've watched the latest season of Daredevil, Born Again, and I watched the Punisher One Last Kill special on Disney Plus. So like, I know, and I've seen all the specials with him. They're reintroducing him. Yeah, my nap was good. I didn't get to take one after my stream this afternoon, and I had to do that stream. I had to like just try to stay involved and just try, yeah. But yeah, so I feel like I'm really caught up. But going back to the mental health part, I've never ever before like the last few years or whatever, I've never been like basically disabled with obsessive compulsive disorder, and that's kind of like, that's basically where I'm at right now. Like, that's kind of how, per the doctor, like our conversations and like me sharing kind of how my brain is operating these days, that's kind of where I'm at. And like, even watching like these shows and movies like on my iPad and stuff, I watch like 15-20 minutes at a time, and then I gotta pause and take a break. So I'm really hoping that I am able to fully just turn, I know I won't be able to turn it off because that's not something that I'm able to do, but I'm hoping that it turns the noise into just more into fog and less like blowhorny, if that makes sense, and allow me just to kind of give my brain a break a little bit. I had a really you were on your trip, Moxie. I had a really bad migraine 2 weeks ago today, actually, and I was checking out, and we tried to try to see if I could stay here, but the place was sold out, so we had no choice but to go. So I was like yakking here in the bathroom, and then I got in the Uber, and then I spent like basically the rest of the day yakking, and then I eventually ended up taking what I had to help me stay inside to go stay somewhere else so that I could. And the migraine was it was directly related to kind of what's all been going on. But yeah, doing a normal thing is great. I just want to enjoy the movie. I just really want to enjoy the movie. So if something comes up in my mind at all during, like, it's the same 28 things. It's always the same 28 things. It's that's just how it is. I think I'm just gonna do my old breathing exercise, because this new one that we're trying isn't really working, and I think we'll just hopefully that will. I'm just really excited, so I'm hoping that my excitement will let me just nerd out for a couple of hours. And then the other thing too is I've been nerding out on Avengers Doomsday pretty much all year on the internet here and there, and for the last 8 days I've had to avoid any, like, what's going on with Avengers Doomsday, like, are there any new set photos that have been released, any of that, because I just don't want any spoilers. But yeah, I'm hoping it's a really, really good brain break for me. But we're gonna learn something new tonight. We're gonna see how full-fledged OCD works at the movies. I'm hoping it goes well though. I'm really, really excited. Like I said, I'm caught up on the story and everything, so. And Tom Holland is a great Spider-Man. My counselor, we actually talked about this movie in my session this week, because my counselor went to go see it too. She said it was really good. Hey, Ardorio, how's it going? You having a good evening? Yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy it. I think I'm going to have a fun time. Got help with tickets, and got money for popcorn and a drink, and I'm trying to decide between Red Vines, Junior Mints, or Sour Patch Kids. This is it though. I cannot do candy for another 2 weeks at least, minimum. This is it. I'm supposed to be on this diet, and I'm not really doing a great job because I'm out here. But trying to decide what candy we're getting. I'm trying to talk myself out of Junior Mints, but that's a personal reason. Oh yeah, but I was talking to my counselor about things are okay. Been fixing up your house and dealing with your ex. Oh, I'm so sorry. I remember you talking about that. Been tough on your mental, yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. I had some candy about 3 weeks ago. Had some gummy bears. That was really fun. I like gummy bears and gummy worms and sour gummy worms. And I'm just not supposed to have like a lot of sugar. I need to have a little bit of sugar because sugar is actually a natural sugar. It's part of our diet. But this keto diet, they want me on it. It's no heavy calories basically. They want me on like a lot of red meat and stuff. Healthy grains. So like if I have rice, no white rice. It needs to be like brown rice. I can do some red rice. I can do some quinoa. But no, they don't really want me having white rice right now. So we're just making this a nice cheat day in general. Not even necessarily fiber, Aradorio. Like, I'm not supposed to have salad. That's what lettuce mostly is. So I'm not supposed to have salad. Very, very few vegetables are on my approved list. But the primary reason for the diet is it's heart health. So it's very similar to the diet that some athletes will follow to like bulk up and stuff, but yes, and because I'm doing extra butter, Moxie, I need to make sure not to get a large because I'll inhale the whole bucket, and that's just not what I need right now. So I need to stick to the medium. The thing too is like the large thing of popcorn and the medium popcorn is usually like a quarter to 50 cents price difference, but the amount of popcorn you get is substantial. It's gonna be nice. Take home with me. Yeah, give me a snack. I just don't need to snack that much. This is gonna be a. I'm gonna have to be really disciplined the next 3 or 4 days after having these snacks. And I will likely feel it depending on the butter situation. I probably should. I probably shouldn't do extra butter. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna have to go light butter. That's a no-no right now. Yeah. So maybe light butter. That's a downer. I just remembered that conversation. Reese's are your favorite? I do like Reese's. I like the Reese's Pieces. Those are always fun. So the company that I used to work for that owned the Utah Jazz, owned the Salt Lake Bees, and they actually, Larry H. Miller Group of companies, they own what's called Megaplex Theaters. It was actually a really, really, really nice theater chain, like serving you drinks, like waitresses and stuff, helping you out in recliners. They'll get you blankets and stuff. So I worked for the company, so we would always get a discount. So my ex-wife and I would always just go to those theaters whenever we went to go see a movie. And nothing was better than like catching a movie on Christmas Day, or all that stuff, and just like being able to have all your food and drinks and everything brought over to you. There were times where like we would catch like 3 or 4 movies in a week because it was like so awesome. Twitch gaming contest, it did not go well at all. No one really showed up. I'm really having a hard time with discoverability right now. In general, I think it's so weird. I blew up on, it was a lot of fun, Aradorio. It was we caught so many movies. And it was like seriously like, that outing would have cost any other family like $40 for mom and dad, or husband and wife to go out, and here we were going out and doing that for like $22 for our tickets. We were getting food and dinner. We get burgers and fries delivered to our seats too. That was awesome. And we do all that for like both of us $50. It was actually a really, really reasonable date night for us when we were married. Going back to, no one really showed up, so I didn't give anything away, so I still have the code that I can give away another time. I have been thinking about it because it has been so rough discoverability-wise lately, and the reality is, I look back at TikTok. I blew up on TikTok fairly quickly. Within a month, less than a month, I had 2,000 or 3,000 followers, and I started November 28th or 29th on TikTok of 2024. Before New Year's Day, I had full live benefits. I had over 5,000 followers, which meant that I was monetized to be able to receive gifts. They lowered it since then. I just really blew up super quick, and the biggest difference was I was healthy. So, there's a movie place north of you that serves your seats even. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, one of the cool parts about moving to LA was being able to get beer at movie theaters. You can't really get beer at a movie theater all that often in Salt Lake City. But I'm like, because I feel like right now I'm busting my ass more than I ever had to bust my ass on TikTok. I just don't feel like I'm being discovered, or new people are popping in and out. Like even tonight, I've had like 6 or 7 of you guys hanging out with me all night, and that's really, really incredibly awesome. I really enjoy visiting with everybody. But we're not getting like new people in like we used to get in on TikTok. So it's it's been a little bit of a challenge. If I could go back to TikTok, I'd consider it, but I can't because I've already tried creating other accounts and I end up with the same problem. Plus TikTok it's kind of dying off a very slow death. I will never be on TikTok again, Moxie. It's just not gonna happen. But like TikTok is it's having a rough go right now. Since Donnie's friends now are in control of that platform, I've been checking some of the numbers. Um, Viewership's down. Content creation is also down. A lot of content creators on that platform are having the same complaints that I've been expressing. And the reality was, once the system knows you, the system knows you. I was very, very, very outspoken, very pro-left in a lot of my content, and I don't think there's anything that I can do. I don't think I can create a new, because like even if like I created a new email, once I hit like a few thousand and I was able to be monetized again, I have to give them my real info. So, yeah, it's really interesting. I've even been talking to people that are like dual streaming on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube, and they're like, dude, I used to meet like 10 to 15 new people a night, if not more on TikTok. I used to meet a lot more than that on TikTok lives. And people are saying like they're lucky if they get 3 or 4 new people in their rooms for an hour or 2 hour long live stream. And I was blown away when people were sharing that with me, like, what? Like, so I also think that there's more people than ever that are out here creating content. The job market's really, really bad. I just saw yesterday that they just amended all the job numbers from the last 3 months, and that in July, employers cut like 60,000, 70,000 jobs, if not more. So like, there's so many limited options, I feel like, in our society for you to go and try to make some money. And content creation as a whole is, I think it's an easy in. I mean, as far as doing it, at least. Like, for my YouTube videos, the full-length videos that I'm preparing to shoot, I'm having to script them, guys. And it's not like I'm gonna be reading from my screen or anything. I'm just making notes and stuff, and I'm gonna stick to a format moving forward. But like that's kind of what it takes. And you know, I'll put in all this work, and then I might get about 100, 200 views. Or I can make a short that's 15 seconds long, a gaming short that's 15 seconds long, and I'll get 1,200 views. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, discoverability has been hard. I'm trying Twitter out right now. Like, I just started trying Twitter Monday or Tuesday of this week. I'm primarily just trying to like comment on other Marvel Rivals players and creators and all that stuff's content, and just trying to get some engagement. But the problem with Twitter, or X now, is it's just so volatile, and everyone on that platform is just, I feel like it's just become the place to be toxic, if that makes sense. Like, everyone is just, there was a person just venting about something about the video game, and I just popped over and I was like, hey friend, and I shared my opinion, and I got fucking lit up. And I literally started my response with, hey friend, like, to some stranger, and I was like, oh my goodness, like, there was nothing abusive or aggressive about my response. I'm just trying to engage with somebody's post, and like, yeah, exactly, like. And then what was crazy, I ended up blocking this person, but like 3 hours after the conversation, I was genuinely trying to have a conversation with this person, and every response was, get the fuck out of here, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And I'm just like, what the, like, it's literally, and all it was, the whole conversation, I'll tell you what the conversation was about. We have a new hero that got released in this video game yesterday, and the conversation was about whether or not that hero should be allowed to be played in a competitive match. And this person just vehemently said, it's wrong on every level, you're just dead ass wrong to try to take a new character that's been out for a few hours and bring them into other people's competitive matches. And I'm like, people pick stuff up at different speeds. Like, there's a good chance someone has 2 hours on that character and really knows how to play that character. Like, that was my whole position. So it wasn't even like lengthy, it wasn't like super detailed, it was just like, dude, like, who knows, maybe people learn faster. And I just got lit up for it. And then 3 hours after the conversation happened, he or she posted a new, just full post, not a response or anything, but just said, There have been a lot of nothing burger men in my comments today, and I went and looked at all of her tweets, and I was the only person that engaged with any of her content. Any of it. And I'm like, how does that help you gain more followers? How does that help you make new friends? Like sometimes if people come into my live streams and stuff with attitude, I'll match your attitude. But as soon as you scale it back, I'll scale it back too. Like, by the second response, the person should have realized I was just trying to be nice. Like all content creation, if you have people commenting and liking and engaging with your stuff, the system will help push your stuff out more. So like, you know, just, hey, I'll have a friendly conversation with this person, has an interesting opinion, maybe I'll share my opinion. And it just turned into this volatile situation. And then I'm like, yeah, it's just, so yeah, I'm 6 days into Twitter, and I'm not liking it. I'm not liking it at all. It sucks. I'm really just there to try to like meet other people that play this game. Yeah, content creation, it's just, it also doesn't make a lot of sense for me to walk away from my my very expensive education to go invest money into being like a plumber to make significantly less money. Like, if this doesn't work out at some point, you know, I'll just go back to doing what I was doing before, where I was making, hopefully, you know, making money. But I gotta get housed first before that will ever be something that anyone will consider. Yeah, it's just content creation. I think it's just low-hanging fruit, I think, to a lot of people. But I was very fortunate. But on top of being fortunate, I think I'm recognizing, looking back, I was just healthy. I was stressed, I was homeless, and it was all new, and it was all scary and all that stuff, but I was still me. So it made talking about things, everyday things, a little bit easier. I'm so far removed from running errands and going to Trader Joe's on a Tuesday morning. Like, I'm so far removed from that. So it's kind of hard to be in my position and try to connect, you know, with people about those things. It's a lot more difficult these days. Plus, we know what's the matter with me now. So. Doral, you started following me on TikTok. It's opened your eyes on homelessness and how it could happen to anyone. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't doing great, you know, the year before, but I was definitely, you know, just a normal person. And yeah, it definitely, it can happen to anybody. And like, I've met a lot of people that are just very, 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 very normal and very just, yeah, along this way. So, Moxie, have a great time at the movies. Thank you very much. Full permission to escape for a few hours. Yeah. You've hit your wall. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm glad you're gonna get some rest though. I hope you have a good night and sleep well. Hopefully I'll get a chance to catch up with you a little bit more, Moxie, the next day or two. We'll see. But I do really appreciate everything you've done. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to getting out tonight. I'm gonna leave here too in about 10-15 minutes. It's not too far of a walk, but I just want to give myself time to like not stress about, you know, getting my goodies and getting to my seat. So yeah, Aerodorial, I think that was like the biggest lesson from the very beginning that I learned for myself. Even I was like, man, because I asked myself that question, like, how did I end up here? Like, I've literally been applying for jobs for months and months and months. I have a job. So like, I've been applying to jobs, I'm working my job, you know, like, yeah, you're right, Aerodorial. Like, I think that's one of the biggest things I think people can learn from this situation. And I mean, I think more time just like looking at the whole situation, it's clear that I had some help getting here, unfortunately, and this world operates a very, very specific way. And if you, as a member of this society, do not if you're not doing things the way that society expects you to do them, you are going to face certain consequences. I think in the long term, anyone can go and make something of themselves and do things their way, but it takes time, and I also think you have to demonstrate to others how serious and how committed you are to doing things your way. Yeah, Erdorial. If you go to TikTok, one of my pinned videos is actually kind of the generally full story. Like, yeah, I used to work in the NBA. I have a Bachelor of Science in Parks, Recreation, and Tourism. My emphasis area is community recreation and sport management. So I have a pretty sound education from a pretty good university. I went to the University of Utah up in Salt Lake City, so it's top 80 to 90 institution in the country. Pretty good school. Interned with the Utah Jazz and that whole company all throughout my latter years of college, and then got hired full-time even before I graduated. They didn't want to pay me after I graduated what I felt I was worth, so I left for them and went and joined Amazon, and Amazon paid me a whole kit and caboodle of money. They paid for my move out to Los Angeles, and I mean, they paid for everything. My ex-wife was sitting on the porch sipping on some beers while they were packing up our stuff. They packed it all up, they shipped it out here. They unpacked it all for me. I just had to tell them where I wanted them to put it. Like, it was a whole everything. And then, yeah, I was a mid-level senior manager type of person for Amazon from 2017 until 2020. And then, yeah, the golden handcuffs got taken off of me in 2020, and then the pandemic obviously was a huge part of that. We just weren't hosting any events anymore. Everything was dead. I was given a job to do that was supposed to take me 2 years, and I got it done in 5 months. And that's just me being me. So we had a lot of stuff going on personally with my wife and I, and some family stuff with my grandparents who passed away in 2023. But in 2021, I took a new job as a PM, and that company was compensating us with their PPE loans from the government for the COVID situation. And they tried getting rid of me pretty quickly when they realized how expensive I was going to be after 90 days. And that turned into a battle because I had negotiated to have my Amazon salary when they hired me. And when it came time for them to give that to me, they were kind of like pushing back on it. So I ended up in a weird fight with them that I ended up winning. But the end result was, while they did give me my Amazon pay, they ended up rolling me into a layoff as soon as their PPE loan expired. And that led me into the job market at a time in 2023 that just wasn't good. So I took a job with New York Life. It was the only job offer that had come across my plate during that time period. It was just, hey, I need to make some money. So I did that from, got my license and all that stuff, and I did that from end of 2023 until through the beginning of homelessness. I didn't apply for jobs like the first 5 or 6 months. I really did try to make that job work. But once I realized, like, hey, I might need something else, I started applying to work again. And I even told New York Life my situation was getting dire, and I needed, like, hey, can I, like, shadow some people? Can I do this? Can I do that? And they didn't even entertain it. They were just like, you should resign. I'm like, what? So, yeah, long story. That's the career part of my story. So I've done a lot of really great things. I've been working since I was a teenager too. So like the pandemic was the first time I ever had any time off. So yeah, I did a lot of stuff while I was both with the Jazz and when I was with Amazon. I traveled a lot for work. I traveled a lot with Amazon for work. But yeah, the divorce definitely had an impact, I think, on some things, and yeah, like a lot of just, and like, I mean, I definitely have my accountability that I own up to. I probably could have applied to maybe a few more jobs. I was doing 12 in the morning and 12 at night the last 4 or 5 months before I got evicted. I was doing so many job applications I cannot even express. McDonald's, Lowe's, Home Depot, like I scraped the bottom of the barrel. Um, I learned a little bit about being overqualified. I learned that from just people here on that I met in my community. A little bit about um, just a little bit about how people at McDonald's who barely graduated high school, maybe just have their GED, they don't really want to necessarily hire somebody who has an education, who's done X, Y, and Z in their career, who they know is temporary, to come in when they're the king of the kingdom, king or queen of the kingdom, and like they really want to hire like 20-something-year-olds, like high school kids that they can boss around. And like that was something that I don't think I ever really took the time to consider and think about when I was kind of coming up. Yeah, and that's another part of it too, is because we will leave. Like, let's be clear, you hire me at McDonald's, great, I'm going to be really grateful that I have some work and I have some money coming in, but I'm still going to keep on applying for jobs. And the second a job comes in, like I'm a very honest, good-natured person. Like, if I'm going to leave my place of employment, I'm going to try to give you 2 weeks. Like, okay, like I know I'm on shift work. I've managed people, that kind of a thing, and I don't want to leave you high and dry. That's me. Now, if the pay was that good and stuff, I'd have to. I have no choice. But yeah, that's a part of it. But the reality too is just like, it's the ego part of it. I don't think we take enough time to consider that like McDonald's is a big corporation, Home Depot is a big corporation, Lowe's, Taco Bell, Chick-fil-A, like all these places, but the people calling the shots it's the people, the assistant manager, it's the store manager, and it's these people that's their kingdom. Do you want to hire a threat? Do you want people to do things your way? Or do you want to risk someone that knows a better way, or just knows just common sense stuff that maybe your instructions are counter to? And these are all things I've learned from people that are in the community, in our community, in the KES community, that have shared things with me and have opened my mind to, maybe it's better to take an entry-level job for sure to get some hours and some work in, but maybe it needs to be an entry-level job that's like an office job where I'm not that kind of a threat, So it's, there's a lot of that I've learned even. But I think the big picture is just, there wasn't like I made any significant bad choices. I maybe made a few wrong choices. And I think even to this day, time will tell. But yeah, it's, as far as my career and stuff goes, that's, so it's very unfortunate. And it just is what it is. But that's basically the career story in a nutshell. I used to do a lot of big stuff. The last thing that I will share with you, Aradoriel, and this is like a definitive, like 100% like true fact about me. I'm not a narcissist. When I got divorced, I spent a lot of time in counseling and in doctor's offices because I thought I was. And it took a long time. I'm still not kind of like on the other side of that mental block, but I have a pretty good understanding of all the ways I'm not. And I discovered the 2 ways that I were, and the 2 ways I were was like normal stuff that I think everybody does. And I am working in corporate America. All of us are working in corporate America. And millennials are the biggest part of the workforce right now. And over 60% of millennials identify or could be identified as narcissists. It's just the way that most of the generation was raised. So when we talk about me not conforming, I have very, very, very high moral standards for the way that I think that we should all be living our life. I firmly believe that we should treat others the way that we would like to be treated. I believe that in my soul. And narcissists only believe in the things that they need to believe to get what they want. Whether or not they truly believe them or not is a whole other conversation for another time. But after spending a little over 2 years really working on it and kind of just that plays a role in it. It's really hard, I think, for other people to maybe see me have some of the success I've had and have the loyalty from my staff and my team and the vendors that I work with, all that stuff. That isn't those relationships, being able to negotiate a contract down based off of a good relationship as opposed to throwing your weight around, that is that's really threatening to people that don't have those skills. And I actually historically have. So me not willing to conform to the idea that somebody else needs to suffer for me to be successful, that plays a very significant role in kind of the greater aspect of this story. I believe in my values. I truly do. They were not brought up by like some Mormon church either. It was, my values are my own. And I just firmly believe that I shouldn't have to violate them. My final example, the story I'll share with you before I hop off for the night, is when I worked for New York Life, there were a number of opportunities to make a pretty good paycheck. The problem is when I'm working with individual clients is they usually come to me and they tell me exactly what they want and what they can afford. But the reality is, doing that type of work, you don't just take their word for it, you dive into what they actually make and what their finances look like, so you know what they can afford. And there were many, many, many times where I reported to the managing partner of the firm in Orange County, in Irvine. And I was very specifically on a number of situations told to upsell people on things that they had both explicitly told me they did not want or need, and additionally were unnecessary in cost. I strive to keep people getting what they wanted within their budget, but the second those types of sales-minded people see that, oh, you can get an extra, they can afford an extra $150 a month, so you need to get that extra $150 a month. That is the mentality and the mindset of those individuals. And I refuse to adopt that perspective. I firmly believe that if you came to me looking to get coverage, and this is what you could afford, and this is what you wanted, and I was able to make that happen, that we should execute what you asked for and what you can afford. As opposed to other people in that environment who are like, oh, they can afford an extra $200, you need to get an extra $200 a month out of them, because it's going to be an extra $1,600 in your commission. And it's like, no, we're not doing that. And same with me, Aerodorial. So when we talk about how I ended up here, that stuff, the last 14, 15 months in that job before I ended up out on the street, this was the cost of not taking advantage of some really nice old ladies and some men who have had their wives pass away and just need to redo their stuff so that their children can have a good life when his time comes, like all that kind of stuff. And I just refuse to bend my knee to just for my own self-benefit. So I'll leave you with that. It's a little bit about me, but and I to this day, like, I still do, I feel incredibly guilty for needing to have help and having to ask for help. It's incredibly difficult to this day, but that's a story for another day. But I am who I am. I believe in who I am. I believe that we'll talk about this more later. But hopefully that gives you some more perspective. There is a video up on TikTok that you can check out. But I'm gonna go get my shoes on and go start walking down the street for the movie. I'm really looking forward to catching this. I'm really excited. Maybe tomorrow. If not, we'll catch up another day. So, Aerodorial, everyone else in the chat, I hope you guys all have a wonderful evening. Hope you guys all take care. And yeah, I'm gonna go catch a movie here and have a nice evening. Turn my brain off for a minute. So catch up soon. Hope you guys all have a good Saturday. Take care.
It's gonna be okay, no matter come what may. I'm gonna set things straight. Tomorrow, I let my worries fade, let them sweep away. There'll be another day. Tomorrow, I keep repeating the same mistakes. I did them all before, in every shape. There's a million ways to mess things up, and I need some time to figure out what to say and make our troubles disappear. Oh, tomorrow's near. It's gonna be okay, no matter come what may. I'm gonna set things straight. Tomorrow, let all our worries fade, let them sweep away. There'll be another day. Tomorrow, oh oh oh, 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 oh oh oh. Tomorrow I will set things straight. Tomorrow's gonna be okay. Let all my troubles go away. Tomorrow, it's gonna be okay. No matter come what may, I'm gonna set things straight. Tomorrow, let all our worries fade, let them sweep away. There'll be another day. Tomorrow, it's gonna be okay, no matter come what may. I'm gonna set things straight. Tomorrow, let all the worries fade, let them sweep away. There'll be another day. Tomorrow, oh oh oh, oh oh oh, oh oh oh, oh. Tomorrow, oh oh oh, oh oh oh, oh oh oh, oh. Tomorrow. I pull into your driveway, it's a Saturday night. You look